So, Cosima, you are, depending on how you count, tied for richest person in Helbine. Can you explain to me where you live?
Yes, with a context question. Can you describe to me how the city is generally laid out?
Yeah. So, it's just one city here on Prime, the planet with all of its moons. Roughly circular, a lot of layers. You've got in one section, you've got the Interstellar Coalition's area, their giant ring, their living quarters for all of their members. Kind of opposite that, you have the spaceport and the Corton Corporation's headquarters. And then cutting all the way across the city, through both winding around, is the area called the Track, which is more or less owned unofficially by the Phantom Marauders, very intentionally just nicking the sides of each of their rival factions. In the other areas, it's a lot more neutral. The government, of course, is really powerless against the factions, and in fact is largely comprised of secret members of the factions trying to pull their weight in the governing body. But the further you get away from the Track and the further you get away from the factions, it gets more or less wealthier. Things higher, closer to the surface, above the lower levels and buildings, of course, also tend to be more expensive and fancier. Anything with a completely open sky is considered the peak living.
Great. Excellent. That is where, then, Cosima lives. Definitely in a high-rise with access to a roof balcony situation.
Yeah.
In a neutral area farthest away from the Corton Corporation headquarters.
Okay.
Yes. And the view is magnificent. Just go, like, riding there's like the lift that gets us up there is like one of those glass, or like the see-through. I mean, it's probably better than glass, but like you can see through everything, and you can, like, the view is ridiculous. And I would say it's probably close to the exterior of the city as well, in that you can see a lot of the city, but you can also see a lot into the, like, wilds, you know, the not city of the planet. But I would say probably, actually, if you'll allow it, the entire top level of this building is where Casino
okay.
lives.
So it's like an apartment building, but you own all 6 apartments on the top floor.
Correct.
And you just had them like connected by doors.
This is correct. You are absolutely correct.
Oh, yeah, it's the penthouse.
Yeah, it's exactly right. It is it's got a lot of windows to see out everywhere. From the inside it looks like it's basically all see-through, but they are basically one-way windows. You cannot see through them for, like, the audience perspective.
Oh, okay. What's the security like? Which is the first thing that everyone would notice as you take the elevator up and the door opens.
A lot. I think that there is when the door opens, there's a room, like a small, you know, I don't want to say holding area, but like, you know,
like an airlock.
Yeah, not really, but there is another door there, and there is multiple security measures that they take to unlock their door.
So as you step forward, there's obviously some sort of camera pointing at you and a little screen. Normally it would be visible to you on the inside to see who's there, but for you, you see a nice snapshot of yourself. Obviously not too worse for wear as opposed to Judd, who's still covered in a little blood. But what does the camera see? Can you describe Cosima for me for a moment?
Yes. Cosima's very tall. She is about 6'5". And a decent, like, medium build as far as, like, body type goes. She is proportionately humanoid, but is completely covered in fur, as she has also got some feline traits to them.
So you are a furry. I mean furry.
Yes.
Okay.
She has 4 ears, so two on each side. Horns that kind of come back and curve forward a little bit, a set of horns. And teal green eyes. Her fur is completely black. And she also has a, like, longer hair bob cut, very, very sharp and angular and very smooth. And all of her hair is black, except for at the edges of her ears. It kind of fades into, like, a metallic gold color. That also is, like, I would say a little bit, like, around where her nose is as well. But a very, very tall, kind of carries himself very confidently, which also reads as very cockily, very sure of herself.
All right.
kind of walk.
The camera immediately, the light turns green and the door opens for you as everyone else passes in. Judd next. Judd, can you describe yourself as the camera makes note of who's entering the penthouse?
Sure. Judd is a decent bit shorter than Cosima, about 5'10", 5'11". And Judd is a Killian, which is this slender-looking, four-armed alien fella. Greenish blue, almost teal skin, dark, almost black eyes. Barely can. Where are the irises? Who knows? Fairly slender, sinewy looking muscle. And he's wearing this small, kind of circular, hat that kind of covers the majority of his hair. The cornrows that are kind of peek out the back. And he's wearing kind of like sleeveless armor, which has a new hole in it thanks to Crash. Certainly that won't come back to haunt him at some point. But yeah, headwear wise, you could think one of those like Kenti African like print hats, as well as a very lovely 5 o'clock shadow, like you should have shaved a week ago, but you still look super duper dapper and cool. As well as right behind his neck sits on his back sits four short swords.
Fantastic. The camera takes note and does so for Crash as well, who is next in line.
Yeah, we're just like going down in height because Crash is another rung shorter than that in like the 4-foot-ish range. Best described as kind of a mole person, like an anthropomorphic rodent-like character, whiskers coming out of his little pointy nose, front part of his face. Kind of a big, like a little bit oversized jacket on and a beanie on top. Just like very much does not fit in this type of estate. Is just like a little, like just worker vibes. Like he's pretty just used to more work-a-day type environs.
Okay. You enter, followed by the arguably most unusual Dr. Zekrom Felix.
Yeah, so Dr. Zekrom Felix is, let's see, how do I explain? Dr. Zekrom Felix is very short and is also the consciousness of a scientist that is inside the body of a doll. So Zekrom Felix is about 4 feet tall, in a plastic doll's body, carrying a little purse. I've also equipped myself at this point with a tiny robe, think like Ewok in Star Wars, which is like the little hood because I look so unusual. So a little plastic dolly that looks like a very fashionable girl's toy but and walking in a very mechanical manner and made of plastic.
Okay. And then, Moose, since you knew this was coming, you have a moment to clean yourself up as you pass the camera.
Great. I kind of just like zhuzh my hair. I give like the hand lick and then kind of swipe over. Moose, J Moose Bones is a guy. He's just a very normal looking string bean of a guy. He's 6 foot tall. 6 foot 2. He is 150 pounds, 155 soaking wet. He's wearing a flight suit, a very well-worn flight suit that it's kind of like if you have any family members that had a uniform of any kind that sort of hung around in the basement and then maybe somebody pulled it out to maybe use as a Halloween costume one year. It's that level of worn where the color is like completely faded. There's patches of it that are like completely white and almost showing the skin through it. It's very, very worn through. You can see. No, that's it. He's a guy. He has
just one
a
dude.
short. You can tell he wears his hair short but needs a haircut. You can tell he wears a mustache, but the rest of his facial hair has been growing out in such a way where you can tell he needs to shave it back down to that mustache. The mustache is significantly further grown out than the rest of his facial hair, but it's like, are you going for a beard? I don't think you are.
Amazing. You also enter the suite, and as Cosima opens the front door to an unimaginable display of wealth.
Yeah, it's a little much, y'all. It's a little much.
What exactly sort of decor do you have going on? Is it just like lavish? Are you a clean person, a messy person? Give me like 4 sentences of description for this ridiculous place you own.
Sure. Has anyone played Cyberpunk 2077? Remember no? Okay, excellent.
Yes.
Great. Great. Cool. You know the penthouse that is at the very beginning of the game before everything goes south and terrible? It's basically kind of like that.
So a lot of sleek gold.
Everything
chrome.
it's kind of gold and black based. And it's not like a minimalist kind of like there's like 5 things in this room. It is very sleek and structured with small like bits of decorative things that give like pops of color and a little bit of like a touch of like, oh, okay, this isn't like some soulless being lives here and this was all auto-generated, you know?
Let me ask you this. Did you decorate it or did you pay for a decorator?
What a great question.
Both.
Okay.
Is the thing.
You had
That's
somebody
why
decorate it and then you didn't like parts of it?
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you clean
exactly
or
it.
are there like clothes lying around, dirty dishes?
Do you have a cleaner?
I do not have a cleaner.
Okay.
I do think there is a little bit of like, there is a little bit of like, you know, some things like, you know, a jacket or some stuff like over the sofa or something like that, or, you know, a handful of dishes, not like in total, you know, squalor or anything like that, but like Cosima would like casually walk through and like pick up stuff just to get it out of the way, but doesn't seem like really, you know,
concerned about impressing these people.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, what? You're in my house. What do I have to impress you with? You're in my house. You know.
I'm picturing like a dusty decanter with like just the last remnants of what was like a bottle of red wine and a used glass, like on a side
I was actually about to
table.
ask, what is
Right
the
up
first
front.
thing that each of you notice? Is it an old decanter for Dr. Felix?
Yeah.
That's headcanon. If
Okay.
you know.
that it exists. I can
Okay.
guarantee you. There is a fairly, not like a full bar, but there's a substantially sized like wet bar over on one side of like this living area / kitchen area for sure.
What's the first thing that catches Crash's eye? And feel free to add in things, of course.
Yeah, if you see it, it probably exists, and I'll embellish it for you.
I'm trying to think if there'd be like any sort of anything impressive in terms of like tech or like mechanical things. Like if you've got a fancy, even like if it's just a fancy like TV holovid situation, something of that nature, or it's like probably that of just like, oh, you got a shiny fancy like cool tech thing.
Okay, yes. So the biggest thing that you would see is that besides the front door, there are no other doors in this place. I mean, there's a sliding like frosted door where you presumably there's like a washroom situation. But besides that, there's no doors here. There's no doors. So you can easily, as you're walking through, see into all the other rooms. And there is one room that is pretty decked out, pretty tacked out, I should say.
What's the first thing Judd notices?
It's the bar definitely is
it's substantially
first
stocked.
That's a given.
It's a given.
Stocked.
We all know
However, right, but he's looking to see where Cosima keeps the weaponry. He's looking for a weapons locker. He's looking for
I think you
a
see
closet.
You don't see anything like that right away, but you do catch very subtle, like, secret compartments under counters, under the coffee table that probably holds some kind of handgun.
That holds something for sure.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
he's
for
and then as that like thought sort of is fleeting, he's looking over to see what kind of kitchenware you have.
Kitchenware.
Cook,
okay.
Like knife block, you know.
Yeah.
What?
I see.
yeah.
I see.
Improvised weapons.
So Kasim is definitely one of those ones that doesn't have a knife block. They have a knife drawer that has like the knives all lined up in it. But I don't think there's a lot of that, like, you know, hanging pots and pans and all that sort of like obvious kitchenware stuff. I do think that they do cook a little bit.
Okay. Do you have like one of those fancy drones where you just tell it what recipe you want, put the ingredients on a counter, and it'll make you dinner?
I do think something like that. Yeah.
Or the microwave from Spy Kids.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly right. You are exactly right.
For when you've had a long day and you're like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah, definitely something like that. But there is, you can tell, I think, because there's like dirty dishes and the like, you can tell that they at least have cooked here before. You know, it's not that they only rely on a drone to make all of their things.
Moose.
Seeing the dirty dishes. Oh, good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Moose, what about you? What's the first thing that catches your eye in this lap of luxury?
Would there be some sort of... I think I'm looking for trophies. What someone would consider a trophy. I think... I'm not thinking like high schoolers
Pee-wee
trophy
soccer.
case. You know, I'm thinking
Exactly.
Class.
Anything you
Yeah.
would have had mounted maybe over a fireplace, something along those lines.
Ooh.
I'm kind of also looking for any remnants of something that would notate an allegiance towards some sort, somebody's
Some sort of
faction, right?
Thing. Okay. I will say there's nothing obvious as far as like a faction alliance is. From like a cursory glance, you don't see. There's nothing like out in the open. There's not like a corp on corp flag.
Is
Right.
there
you know.
though like a dartboard with like anybody's face on it?
Right.
Anything that would indicate an a negative sentiment?
Depends if you're walking around the house. I don't think it's obvious. I don't think it's like right here out in the open. But like if y'all start wandering, you let me know and I'll tell you what you find.
I'm not
pull up,
going
there's
like
a-
peeking around.
yeah.
I'm not poking
Okay.
around.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
in obvious like walking through, there's nothing specific that shows that denotes like faction alliance or anything like that. And there's not really any trophies, as far as you can tell.
Let me ask you two important questions.
I have one thing, but
Go
I'll hear your question. Okay. The thing that I think whomever wishes to notice. Well, actually, wait, hang on. Has Dr. Felix answered?
Yeah, the wine decanter.
I saw a wine decanter.
Did you have any other thing to say? I wanted to just.
Oh, I just have my own like personal vision of this because you said black and gold, so I'm just thinking like almost like. Because you said it wasn't like hyper minimalism, you know what I mean?
It's not. It's not like
I'm
like
thinking like
a sofa with one chair. You know, it's not anything like that.
Heavy dark architecture, so I imagine like a big fireplace with like those black columns on either side of it, all black marble. You know what I mean? With like lots of black and gold, like because Costuma's like piratey, right? Like, so I'm looking at treasures all around, just like little things that are like I got this from, you know.
There's 100% a fireplace.
Essentially, what John was saying, right? Like you see like a hoarderish tendency, but only for like really fancy crap. You know?
Yes, I would 100% put my star of approval on that. The thing that I think that all of you would notice, though, is there is nothing that there is an absence of what appears to be sentimentality. So, like handmade things or family photos or like anything like that. There's nothing. There's a stark absence of any of that kind of stuff.
Interesting. So 2 questions for you. 1, do you live alone?
Yes.
Do you have any pets?
No.
Do you have interior cameras, or are those a security risk?
Do I have interior cameras?
It depends on, because you do a bit of hacking yourself, right?
Yes.
So I guess it depends on if you trust your hacking skills are greater than those of someone who might try to get in.
I do not have cameras, but I do have internal security, other security,
like motion
things.
sensors, heat sensors, that sort of thing. Okay. All right, fantastic.
Auto turrets.
Yeah, so I can't. So like, it would tell me, oh, there's 3 people in your house right now, based on heat signatures and that sort of stuff, but not like who these people are. If that makes sense.
Okay, great. Then I will turn it over to you as you kind of awkwardly step in, or not so awkwardly.
I am 100% Casima is not awkward. Casima is like unzipping the boots that they have and just kind of not unceremoniously tossing them, but there's like one of the first rooms there is like a closet of some kind, and they just kind of toss them in there.
Would you all give me?
They just kind of wait before you call for any rolls. They just kind of like wave their hand and say, "Make yourself comfortable," and it's just going to go and like kind of pick up stuff.
Okay, give me a common knowledge roll, everybody except Cosima.
Do it.
Right. Do it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I'm really bad at these.
3.
I got a 5.
Also a 3.
I also got a 3.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
That's right. We roll. Yeah. Same. Cool. Yeah.
Cosima is obviously not short on cash. Crash, you kind of looking at this tech and stuff. You can ballpark that Cosima must have. I mean, easily millions of dollars of equivalent of tech in this room, and who knows how much else. But it's curious to you all because none of you know what Cosima does. You all have your own sort of job or history of work, but Cosima has never made mention of what she does for a living. And then I will turn you loose in this house until you decide you would like to go somewhere else.
Is this a shoes off? So you took your shoes off. I'll just take my shoes off.
Crash is already taking his
do
work boots off,
want.
like he's.
I don't take my shoes off.
Can you take your shoes off? You just hear from like down the hall, like wherever the.
Do you maybe need help
area.
taking your shoes off? Or...
Are you asking because you want me to take my shoes off, or are you asking if I physically can take my shoes off?
The latter.
The thing about the shoes is they're sort of attached to my feet. So it's really difficult to walk if I take my shoes off because it's also popping.
No one has to take their shoes off. It's fine. If you can do it, just do whatever.
Look, I can do it. I'd rather not because then if we have to make a quick exit or something, then the risk of forgetting my feet is high, and it's just difficult.
Imagine.
I don't carry spares with me really either, so I would rather not. I know that's a lot of information that I wouldn't usually volunteer, but
because Yuma's
about this.
in the kitchen going to the drone and is going to get basically the equivalent of a charcuterie board set up.
As you do that, you just hear Judd go, "Oh, I can help with that."
It's fine. It's gonna do it all for us.
The drone goes beep boop.
You just hear Judd just go, "There's no love in it." It just walks out of the kitchen.
Casima's gonna pour a glass of dark liquor, and is not going to offer to pour anyone else anything, but we'll say, all right. So, the only rule I have is don't tell anyone where I live. If you do, I will find out. Deal?
Yeah, I don't even remember where you live. Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
I've already forgotten where we are.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
I've made no notes about this situation. Don't worry.
I mean, I've been here before and I've never told a soul, but that's because I don't have friends. Friends? No friends.
I don't think you have been here before.
I haven't been here before? Okay,
no, I would not have taken you here. No, it was not here. I would have gone to you.
Okay, cool. Well,
Wherever
that's
your
fair.
weird stuff is.
Judd is going to actually question James. Where did Judd get hit? Small of the back, upper back.
I would say
side.
one of your lower left shoulder.
Okay, wonderful.
Now you had armor that kind of absorbed the bolt,
Certainly.
but it's singed, it's bruised a little bit.
Yeah. He'll sort of kind of peel back the armor and begin to sort of wrap a bandage around it.
Did anyone pick up anything about the attackers in the bar? Did anyone notice anything about them?
They seem to be Phantom Marauders, but it also. Oh yeah, they're just gonna put the rifle that they were carrying. It's just laying on the kitchen counter. They were carrying Colton Corporation weaponry though, so that seemed a bit odd.
Crash, you can kind of confirm this at a glance. This rifle
from the
does
rifle, yeah.
look the sort of modular design that most of their weapons have. It's a base stock, a base power supply. It just happens to have the rifle setup of interchangeable pieces. It is odd to see people like this having Corton Corp tech, since this sort of thing is not generally available for sale.
Yeah, Crash had positioned himself at the end of one of the couches, sitting very politely, hands folded on knees, all the way at one end in case anyone else needed room to sit. And then at the side of this, scrambled over, and he's like, no, don't worry, no touching. But he leans over, he's like, yeah, that's Corton for sure. Puts his hands politely behind his back as he leans over.
First of all, thank you. Good attention.
Yeah, that's rule number 2 for sure.
Rule number 2.
Oh, there it is.
So you think they were Phantom Marauders that just got a hold of Corton Corp gear?
I have a question, above table question, based on the session 0 that we did. I don't remember. Okay. So in the session 0, there was mention. Moose made some mention when we were in a spaceship. In conversation to Phantom Marauders, I, the player, know that there is some sort of connection between Moose and the Phantom Marauders at some point in the past.
I think everyone got that.
That was very public. He flashed his badge essentially to get through a blockade.
He said you had a passphrase that essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
as you were flying out, you got
Right.
some Phantom Marauders were coming up to you
Right.
to see if they could get some money out of you. Moose
Right.
said some kind of gibberish passphrase none of you recognized, and they departed.
Right. Okay. Okay. Great.
It was Oberon Nexus Vera. I wrote it down.
Yes, it was. I wrote it down as well. Perfect. Excellent.
did it.
Casima would then, kind of leaning up against the bar, arms crossed, drink in hand, would look towards Moose and say, "You don't happen to have any past experience with Phantom Marauders, do you?"
I would.
Do you know? Do you have any current experience with the Phantom Marauders?
No.
Well, I might. I've done some freelance work. Know a few folk.
What I'm trying to get at is, it seems a little strange that people just came in, started shooting everyone. It doesn't exactly happen very frequently. I mean, it does happen, obviously, but
It happens somewhat frequently.
More frequently than you would think.
Maybe not for maybe not,
Sci-fi.
sorry, Casima, maybe not for you, but like I can't speak for everyone, but
Down on the track, it's, once a week at least.
Does anyone have
Yeah.
a
But also,
price? Does
how
anyone have a
often-
price on their head? Does anyone know if they've got a target on their back of any sort?
And how often are we all of us together in that bar?
well,
In
that's
the last
twice now at
month?
least.
Yeah. I mean, fairly frequently, but not all the time.
yeah.
Not together, at least.
It's a coincidence at least.
It was
Are
it was
we-
very convenient
Mhm.
actually for pitching you all my sort of group hang session.
Mhm.
You
I'm
asked
sure
if anybody
that's
had
what
a
they had in mind for that, exactly. Just for you, Moose, just to make sure we were all together.
Look, I don't know.
That's you joke about it, but that's actually what I'm getting at is if one of you had something that we needed to know about as far as the Phantom Marauders are concerned, I'd like to know it before I decide to buddy up with all of you and go on some strange adventures or anything like that, because I'd prefer not to be shot at frequently.
again. You say
Again.
there's
James, a quick question for you, because
Yeah.
we kind of cold opened, dropped into the skinny of the situation. Was there anyone in particular that was targeted first when they bam like into the bar, or was it a spray and pray strategy?
So I need you to roll. I'm going to say notice.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of had a similar question,
bad
but
at
more
that.
like
I have literal danger sense that gives me a +2 notice roll to sense ambushes or similar events. Would I be able to use that for a preemptive, like a retcon sort of?
That is why you were behind the bar and started with a joker.
Got it.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah. That's a 2 for me, baby.
A 2. Okay. So the first thing you saw was the guy who had come over and started drinking with you uninvited get a bullet through their brain, which probably would have hit you, but there was a lot of gunfire all at once.
and did they? I assume they didn't like announce like this is for the Phantom
Yeah, they didn't
Marauders or
burst
anything?
in and say, "Crash, we're here for you, die."
My
No.
social security number is.
God, thank. Oh, I was worried that they said "Crash, we're here for you, die."
Also, I love that the question was, does anybody here have like a price on their head? 3 of the 5 of you have the wanted hindrance. I'm not going to say which, but
Oh, amazing.
Because we have to know everything about each other in order to work
Now's the
together.
I know that you know that I have some history with the Phantom Marauders. I can promise you that history is basically null. I haven't done anything with the Phantom Marauders in over a decade.
Is he
Is
telling
that-
the truth?
is that true, John?
Oh, okay.
Now, out of character, I believe I mentioned this just so we're clear. Essentially, your position is like you're free to do whatever you want unless somebody really high up calls for you. Then you would be obligated to return, and not helping with what they called for would be you would become an enemy of them.
You're on some sort of reserve.
In that
Yeah,
case, I would leave that answer up to you then. Like if someone had come for me since my big event, then I would do it. But if not, I wouldn't have done anything for them.
Then I would say you are correct. You do technically have a connection, but you haven't, as you said, done anything with them for years.
As Moose says that, well, my business and history is definitely more recent than that, but I don't have a price on my head or anything like that.
Yeah, and to your knowledge, Judd, you are in fine standing.
Mm-hmm.
Crash, let's go back to that weapon that they brought in. The curious thing about
I did have something I wanted to say on this issue
Mhm.
while we're in this sort of backgrounds and while we're here and deciding whether we are working together. I do have to let you know, you all know that I am, of course, the brilliant cyberneticist Dr. Zekrom Felix, PhD. I will say that very few people know that I am, in fact, most people think I am dead and that my consciousness is gone for this world. And while my body is dead, my consciousness is very much here. And I would really encourage you to keep that to yourselves. And actually in mixed company, if you'd call me Polly, that would be great. And I sit down.
Amazing.
She
Polly
laughs.
You're
But if
comfortable
it's-
with that.
When it's just the six of us, if you call me Polly, I will personally kill you, and you have seen what I can do.
Okay,
So.
that seems
Yeah.
seems accurate to the whole
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But for your safety.
Thank you, Doctor.
Crash,
You're welcome.
quick note on this weapon that you were
Yeah.
examining. So core weaponry like this is considered proprietary. In fact, to use one of these, you actually have to like scan your badge to turn off the safety.
Oh, it's like RFID or something like that.
Yeah, but this one has been, that whole piece is missing. So either a very skilled hacker / engineer stole it and altered it to get rid of that safety, or it came that way out of the factory, which would be unusual.
Mhm.
Really,
I do
both
like
would be
a-
pretty unusual.
Yeah, so I like gesturing high above it, like right here is normally like a security apparatus. That module seems to have been fully disabled on this thing. Like this could, we got a couple routes, but this could very well not be court on,
Aftermarket
Or at least-
type stuff.
yeah, this is jailbroken tech essentially.
Unlike cell phone.
Yeah, they rooted this thing pretty good. They got in there, they got root access. They're updating all the directories. They feel like
The
shoot
drivers.
buttons fully going. Yeah.
So the question hanging in the air, what now?
Yeah.
Obviously, Laszlo wasn't exactly a close friend to all of you, but was
Mhm.
always pretty kind and didn't bring you all together. I'm sure
Mhm.
revenge might be on some of your minds.
Not
Um,
alone.
Is, Kasima, is there like a coffee table in this? Like, I'm
yeah.
assuming we're like, Judd will get
Yeah,
up and go
imagine
grab the
imagine like a combination living room, dining room, kitchen, like open floor plan.
Big open concept. Yeah.
That's what
I-
this space is.
I like
Yeah.
to think that the chairs and the coffee table can like raise or lower, whether you want like relaxed
off of
seating
Relax
or
Company
like
or-
Yeah, and
boardroom
also
company.
size of person.
Certainly. If the drone didn't bring over the board, Judd would get up and go get it.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I think we're kind of hitting a dead end on the ambush, but I do have something of a last wish from Laszlo. I guess it would be considered now.
Yeah.
I have
That's the
something
other
for-
open piece. Yeah.
I have something for Angel. Does anyone know Angel?
Kasima sharply looks at you, stares daggers at you. Not in like a I'm going to murder you, but in a the hell did you just say?
Hey, hi, hello, I'm Brian.
And I'm Jorge.
And we are the Bloody Stream Podcast, a podcast where we discuss every currently streaming horror movie.
And like the movies we cover, our podcast will be E for explicit, as in for mature audiences only, please. However, regardless of what movie you're looking for, you can use our website, thebloodystream.com, to find out where it's streaming right now.
And to cover that on the show, we have an abundance of variety guests and subgenres. So whether you're bathed in blood or just dipping a toe, we've got it on the podcast.
So don't forget, thebloodystream.com.
The hell did you just say?
Laszlo gave me some information actually on the Exarch for
Really?
Angel specifically before he died.
Really?
Have it?
I do have it. I thought that figuring out the ambush might have been more pressing, but since Laszlo is dead, I feel like I should sort of complete that mission.
Let me hold up there. You never got the information from Laszlo.
Oh,
You were asked to in exchange for something.
okay.
Question, since we're talking to Exarch, would I know like where that is garaged at, essentially? Like, what is that, some holding facility, spaceport? Like, did I get that much information about that yet? Or was it just a like, hey, a thing you might have to look into at some point?
You would know that it is a ship on Akros, the first moon.
Mhm.
That's as much as Laszlo told you where it was. But Akros is not a big place. The hollowed out moon is essentially a few tiny towns connected around with access roads and things. It's not a big place to search.
Gotcha. Ask around to the right people and you pretty much end up there pretty quickly.
So
I will also say that unless it's like hidden, there are directories that you could access that would tell you like where this ship was last seen, since they all have pretty unique IDs essentially.
Mhm.
Okay, understood. I completely talked out of pocket. That was taking notes with as few words as possible, and it completely
I know exactly what you mean.
It flipped the meaning of what I wrote down completely on its head.
Yep.
Okay, so a retake then. What are you saying?
I was just about to say that
It's
too.
very important.
I need
who
to
else
find out
doesn't
more.
know what's going on?
I need to find out more about the Exarch. So does anyone know about this thing that we picked up from Laszlo?
Well,
I know it's on Akros somewhere. I mean,
it was clearly important that we have it.
yeah. Do we know the ambush was about us? Because like, there's a lot of info that.
It really feels like it was mostly about Laszlo at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he is the one that they managed to unalive.
Yeah, he was one of the, not the first one off this mortal coil, as we've been saying, but he was, one of the first ones hit.
Moose.
Yeah.
What were you offered for this information to Angel?
I don't know that it's particularly important. That is to say, I'm not particularly comfortable talking about it. It's very personal, is what I'll say.
Well, the reason I ask, he kind of smiles a bit, and like he's got like his like third like arms 3 and 4 like folded, and like one sort of like leaning like right here, and the other is sort of kind of like dribbling like fingers on the coffee table. What if I were to tell you that we were offered something similar? What if I were to tell you that what we were offered is also personal?
What do you mean we?
I remember being offered bullets in the form of
In the form of shooting?
Yeah.
seems that
You really see getting shot at as an opportunity.
it seems that Moose and I were offered the same job.
From whom?
Angel, to find info on the ship called the Exarch,
Okay.
and that we could get this information possibly by Laszlo, who is now no longer here. So, either it's a race between the two of us or others, or someone purposely is putting us against each other.
You've both been in contact with someone named pointing to Judd. You've been in contact with someone named Angel.
He nods.
And I point to Moose. And you were going to get information for this Angel?
Yes.
I think we're both
Angel,
supposed to be getting this information for this.
Angel reached out to me. Yes.
Kasima, like, has this kind of steely look in their eyes, and like, it's almost imperceptible, but I think the grip on their glass gets just a little bit tighter.
Sounds like we need to find Exarch. What is this thing that we have? Is it a key?
I assume it looks similar to like the key we used on the other ship, right? Like it's a kind of a weird 3D module. That
I pull it out of my
slots in,
pocket
like-
because I think I was the last one that had it.
Is
Can I
that a
verify
standard
that
thing?
it?
Yeah.
Can I verify that it is a key
Crash-
to a plane?
Crash and Moose would be the ones to really.
Yeah.
Is that
ships
pretty?
are-
It's a standard looking key kind of thing.
Yeah, older for sure, but pretty traditional. Ships
Cool.
are too expensive to leave entirely up to digital, so it's almost like a card key, but it's like 3-dimensional spikes. When you press a little button, they pop out, and so each of these has like a little microchip in it. So it's very, very hard to duplicate, which is why it's still used for vehicles instead of doing something that could just be hacked by someone skilled enough.
Well, we got a key. We got at least a moon for a location and one of the easier ones to track something down on. Got a shared confidant, the quest giver type of person. It seems like pointing at these three. Sorry, Zachary. I'm out of the angel loop as well. Sorry.
Yeah. Of this, I know nothing.
I don't know anything about them. They reached out to me with something again that I would like to that I need, and
Same.
because it has something to do with Laszlo, and because it seems like Laszlo's bar is the one that was just targeted, and Laszlo was killed in the crossfire. So I feel like the importance of it has just bumped up in my mind. Maybe for not just for my own personal reasons, but in general.
It also seems to me like our time might be limited in retrieving this ship, because we don't know what he was going to say or what information he was going to give us. So we could be in a race against someone we don't know in finding this vehicle that he wanted us so badly to have.
Especially if Angel reached out to multiple of us, there's nothing saying that we were the only ones reached out to.
Oh, they most certainly reached out to other people.
But we're the ones with the key.
That's
Okay,
true.
Simon, do you know this angel?
They kind of like turn slowly towards you and give you like the smallest non-smile smirk ever. We've had dealings in the past, and I do need to say they are absolutely not to be trusted. So whatever they promise you, you may get it. I can guarantee it's not going to be good for you.
Genie rules.
Well,
Were they known to reach out to literally anyone, like random thugs and mercenaries? Because I'm now kind of thinking that maybe they reached out to the people who ambushed the bar and were just going scorched earth with their strategy, whereas I think Judd and I were taking sort of a different route.
Possible. They seem like the kind of individual who would do whatever they want to get what they want. So, I'm fine with finding this ship, doing whatever this is, especially if it's going to be spiting them in some way that makes me feel good. But also, if the two of you have been in contact with them, I'd appreciate some... I'd like to get in contact with them as well. If you're able to give me any of that information.
Again, I don't know that. Well, I guess that would be a question. Do I have a way to contact them, or did they specifically contact me?
You were told a location to meet, as was Judd. It is a location in the Corton Corporation manufacturing facility. That they said they have eyes on. If you head there, they'll meet you shortly, whenever that happens to be.
Okay. So I do have a meeting place for them to retrieve the information from me. Other than that, I have no contact, but it sounds like, depending on your relationship, that might be more valuable.
So it was a dead drop for you as well.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, it might not even be a meeting situation. I'm not used to doing these kinds of jobs, so maybe I misunderstood.
No, it's pretty par for course. So it seems first things first, regardless of what the secondary move is. You need to find this ship first, yes?
Yep.
For what it's worth, the only ship you guys have access to is Moose's ship, which is also docked in the Corton facility. Where all ships are.
Crash, where'd you say it was?
Acris. Yeah.
Acris
Big
is
hollow
the
one.
Yeah, the first and the
Small
closest
hollow.
moon.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely get us there, and I hoping that this group would get together. I touched up the ship that we were on for the last job a little bit.
But I feel like it's important to point out, Moose, that the resolution of the situation seems like a you versus me situation.
You think that if we did the drop together, got the information together, and delivered it, that they wouldn't want to honor both deals?
Casima laughs.
No. I really don't think so.
To be fair, if I'm reading the room correctly, I don't think they're going to honor either of the deals.
Oh, they will honor a deal, I'm sure.
Oh, well, okay. It's they'll honor some sort. Never. Yeah.
Just kind of sighs. As long as that's out there.
I mean, it's not. I'm willing to punt that decision, if you are.
I don't think that we have much choice but to. After all, we don't even have the information yet.
And I'm not used to taking this position, but it seems like if folks are interested in getting to Exarch, I would be a necessary part of that equation.
Certainly. But I think the question that remains in the ether is, how desperate are you to get what you want versus how desperate am I to get what I want?
I I'm very fuzzy a lot of the time. My memory is bad. It's really bad. I there's a lot that I can't get a grasp on, and that has to do with looking into my current goals and aspirations, that they sort of tie together in that I'm also fuzzy in that direction. I don't really know where my next move is or why. Angel reached out to me, and I was positive that this is the only thing that matters. Period. If that answers your question.
It does. It does. And he just sits back.
So the question remains, where to next?
I think we should go. I think we should go and find this ship. But
Spaceport?
do keep in mind, pointing directly at, like, Judd and Moose, Angel seems very, very keen and perceptive and is able to find exactly what it is that you want desperately. Just think about that.
I agree.
Spaceport?
All right, go team.
Oh, go team.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I'd say let's go.
Let's go.
Seconded. Yeah.
Any stops you want to make along the way?
I do ask
my
Moose.
house, so I'm gonna just grab my
Yeah.
stuff. I'm just gonna grab some stuff.
I travel light.
Mm-hmm. Moose, how's the cargo situation still pretty okay on that thing? Since we last saw it.
Yeah.
All right. I like pull out calm, like rattle off my fingers. I'm gonna phone a friend to bring over a vehicle just in case we need to bring that with. Do any
I have an above
Stay
table
mobile.
question.
Your vehicle is on the way. Do you want it to show up here or at the port?
I think meet us at the. I'm trying to think if I wanted to go directly to the spaceport. Probably somewhere short nearby the spaceport, but not like directly like to it.
I mean, because I think it's the only vehicle you have between the lot of you. I guess Cosima
true.
could rent a
U-Haul?
taxi or something. I was gonna say
Yeah.
Uber, but we're not sponsored by Uber unless.
Yeah.
Unless
I mentioned like, hey, it might be a little cozy, but we could get 5 in there. Yeah, easy.
5 alive.
Mm-hmm.
Could I get some stats on this rifle, by the way? Because I'm bringing that with me.
Okay. Hold music.
Oh man, this is so good.
It got instantly more
So
complicated,
good.
everyone. Instantly. Episode 2, we're already fucking in it.
John said when he said it, I was like, oh well, that's that blows up quicker
Maria,
than I thought.
Page 21,
Yes.
the Sci-Fi Companion. It is a
Yes.
rifle particle accelerator.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Also, I did this through DMs. John, I guess I didn't see if you saw that, but I have sent John the stats for the heavy pistol that is now in his possession.
I did see that.
It is officially his. I am no longer allowed it.
Yeah.
Actually, even though I got hit and I did the bandage and stuff, I actually don't know what that did mechanically. 'Cause from that perspective, other
'Cause
than like
You didn't
Net-
take any wounds, right?
oh, I don't think so.
And then you I think
good.
it just automatic. It just like over time you'll just not be shaking
Okay.
anymore.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah, it's long gone.
okay, cool.
All right.
Well, then I'm good.
How do you get there? Do you go now?
No Time like the present from our
I've
perspective.
got nowhere else to be.
What time in the
We're,
day is it, by the way?
And we're continuing straight on from our last session, right? No resting, no recharging, no nothing.
Up to you. You're in a decent place to rest if you.
There's
I mean,
we could now.
you
but we
have
not.
recharged literally.
Yeah, I would like to literally recharge, which
Okay.
I believe it actually doesn't take me that long to do
I don't
that.
think so.
So can we say that I did that, or
You possibly
do I-
could have been doing that this whole time, yeah.
Yeah,
Certainly.
it's just
You plug
'Cause I-
yourself into a wall outlet.
I
you
literally
get your
plug
power
in.
points back.
Yeah. Cool. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate that. Because I know there's a mechanic for it, and I know that for my particular character, it does not take that long. But
I believe
have
your
to-
power points you get 10 per hour, so that's easily recovered.
Okay.
And as far as your literal power, yeah, you can USB into a wall socket or something while you're sitting and talking.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, I
Thanks.
have a question. Never mind. I don't have a question anymore. It's gone.
Answered.
Oh.
I answered my own
what,
question.
What time of day is it currently?
I would say it's hitting evening, approaching dusk.
Mm-hmm. We weren't doing like a little early morning bar
It looks
meetup.
gorgeous in
Nah.
my house.
True.
The view is great.
Mhm.
I think the windows automatically add like a
Whoa.
contrast filter. It actually looks better
Yes.
inside than outside.
Yes.
All right. What's your method of transportation?
I have offered my vehicle unless we have a Casima's got any sort of fancy like armored car transport thing, limo.
I for sure do not.
Okay.
Do not.
Same.
I think you probably got a ride on Cosima's bill because it was a long way
Yeah.
to walk.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. To get here, yes, absolutely, I would have.
Yeah.
Gotten us some sort of transport.
Would you like to do that again or use Crash's vehicle?
I mean, technically it's crew of 4, so it's going to be tight, but a couple of us are on the smaller side.
If we're going there now, like if we don't have anything else,
I don't
to-
sit on anyone's lap.
Good.
I'm
If
a doctor, damn
no
it.
one is going, if no one is doing anything else, I think Casima would probably just get us a ride.
Just
That
like
is
one's
more
already on the
comfortable.
way. Yeah.
With the like, you know, through dialogue or whatever, with the reasoning of we don't want your car to just be there and there be any sort of like connection back to us or anything like
Yeah.
that if somebody comes looking for us.
So I thought might even have my contact like, you know, essentially park it around the corner somewhere out of sight that we can once we know everything's chill over there, since people did just break into a bar and shoot at us, then I go grab that and take it into the spaceport.
Okay, so Casima's ride arrives. Is there any stops you want to make? You all have sort of a home base of some sort. We can stop off there if you'd like.
Yeah, there's some hesitancy on Judd's face, and then like as we're sort of on our way, I need to check on something really quickly. It won't take long.
Where do you want to go?
He's going to his old house.
Your house or your safe house?
My house.
Cool. Judd redirects the driver to nice-ish place, middle income looking. It looks just like a typical house. Nothing terribly fancy. Judd gets out, I assume.
Yep. And he dog barks. Damn it!
Are these
I told
like
you
in
not
the
to.
environment?
And
With your soundboard.
They're diagenic now.
and he sneaks up to his own house, which probably seems strange, to a window, and we see a similarly built femme-presenting Killian with a much smaller one, kind of seem to be making dinner.
So I
And-
just want to
Yeah.
set the scene then. So you guys pull up in what's essentially a limousine, because Cosima wouldn't travel in less than the best.
I like
Get
to think
out.
of it as like it's not quite a limousine.
It's like a fancy
It
life.
is-
But
it is
it's-
comfortable.
It's a nice car for this neighborhood for sure.
Oh yes, comparatively.
Judd
but-
gets
a
out.
limousine in the sense that like there are big black vehicles that don't they're
Yeah.
not like stretch
Escalade.
limos.
Yeah, it's not a stretch.
The
So
windows
it's-
are tinted.
Yeah.
It's immaculate.
Yeah.
Judd gets out, sneaks up to the window, and peers in front of all of you. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, is that all? Hey, everyone, real quick check-in. Does that seem like it's going what? Never mind.
As someone,
I don't know.
I was married once.
Okay. Huh. Is that? Never mind.
And
It doesn't make any
I like-
comments, but is very suspiciously watching this.
what
Whatever
marriage is like?
whatever Judd's doing.
Not how I remember it.
and he'll wait for his wife to exit stage left and kind of
Pursued by a bear.
and then just kind of like breathe on the window and draw 2 hearts and then leave.
All right. You return to the vehicle.
I'm sad. Cosima's still suspicious.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
more
sad.
suspicious now. Yeah, and
Any other stops anyone would like to make?
No.
Then the car takes you to the spaceport. Oh,
Right, but here's the thing, though. As soon as Judd gets back into the vehicle and it starts moving, Cosima... I imagine Cosima... No, Cosima would not be in the front seat. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Cosima's in the front.
the front seat is off limits.
Off limits.
There's like 2
That's
seats
great.
facing
I love
back and
that.
then 3 seats facing forward, just like a little
Perfect.
area with like another little
Perfect.
coffee table and a tiny bar.
Excellent.
hell yeah.
Cosima's in one of those 2 seats. And as soon as Judd gets in and it starts moving again, Cosima's just like looking at you and... So what was that all about? Doesn't seem like a normal interaction.
oh, so we're just gonna ask about. Okay, never.
I'm just gonna ask about it.
I thought we all established that we can have healthy boundaries if we needed. That's fine.
I just
We
give
didn't
you
have to
like
share
a are you serious kind of face.
Kinda.
Sometimes traditions are important.
The tradition of sneaking up to a building and breathing on a window. It's an
Yeah.
old tradition.
We all have our
You've been
weird
doing
stuff,
it.
right?
You've been doing it for a long time. It doesn't seem so strange.
Peering in, or what do you mean doing it?
Oh, that's not the first time I've done that. I do that
Oh,
every
like
day.
looking.
That is not help. That's very what.
When, yeah, sometimes when I need to go out of town.
Just go up to a house and breathe on a window.
Not
I
any,
think it was a random
not-
house. Yeah.
No, not a random house. Oh,
I
since
think
we're on the subject, and just in line with the additional threatening from earlier, I actually don't mind if you tell anyone about the tradition. But, as far as threatening anyone that's inside there, I will absolutely fucking kill all of you.
Thank
noted.
goodness none of us know who's in there.
Exactly.
The house explodes.
So don't.
behind you.
exactly.
Quick cut to
Don-
everyone's
Don
place
Wick.
of living.
Dead's a Bloodzong 1, right? It's, but you might get curious, considering. So, just a friendly note for now.
You know what that
Amazing.
sounds like to me?
What does it sound like to you?
An incredible liability.
Maybe. Hopefully, you don't have to find out.
silence for the rest of the car ride for me.
I do like the idea of just elevator music for the rest of the ride. Just like
where's the Mass Effect music? Hold on, one second.
Right,
Let's get the elevator.
Exactly.
Let's find it.
We don't have like a lot of chemistry with each other yet, you know.
No.
All right,
we're all just like suspicious as hell of each other, being like,
let's see, what are we? 3 out of 5 threats at least. Like, so the rest of you, come on now.
I'm not really in a threatening position unless it's by accident.
Zekrom has offered to kill us all. Casima's offered to kill us all. Yep. Judd's offered to kill us all. Let's go.
Yep. Come on,
I'll kill you all.
Well, okay, God wants to kill us all.
Well, James, we know that already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was part of the deal. Yeah.
Yeah, so a few minutes later, you pull up to the port. You get out, you go in through...
Am I allowed to ask for people to make a notice roll? Is that something you'll allow specifically about Casima when they approach
hey, look over there.
Great.
Go ahead. If you're trying to do it specifically to hide from them, roll stealth.
Yes.
Otherwise, everyone else roll notice.
This for an ambush or similar event?
No.
Okay.
That would be amazing, though.
Look, John needs to know that.
I need to know.
For baseline, I rolled a 7.
Dang, you got one past me on
don't
my notice for once.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
I also got a 7.
Don't forget all your bennies.
Love that. I love that.
I should really use a
I'm
Benny
gonna
on this.
I'm gonna use a Benny too.
I'm gonna use a Benny.
Flush with
go.
Benny.
Flush with cash of the Benny persuasion.
I used all mine trying not to shoot anyone on the team, and even that didn't quite make it there.
Oh my God, Emily! Thank goodness you picked a better.
Again.
Thank goodness you picked a better of those, because that is a critical failure.
All right.
God.
Otherwise, woof.
Woof indeed.
So
Can I
that
go
is a 7 stealth for Cosima,
yeah,
a
and
4 for Crash, a 3 for Zekrom, a 7 for Moose, and a 3 for Judd.
5 for Judd.
5 for
I
Judd.
use a Benny.
Okay.
So then that would be Moose would be the only one who knows.
Moose is the only one that catches whatever it is you do.
Fantastic. Okay, it's surprisingly subtle. Cosima has this constant air of like cockiness and confidence and like all of the smugness even. As soon as we approach the Coruscant Corporation vicinity, you can tell that they are a lot more nervous. Even though they don't show it actually, so like nobody else would really bat an eye, but there's just like little things that I think you pick up of like them starting to fidget a little bit. Them like really, like she's really like keeping an eye out everywhere, like little things like that that make you realize that Casima's very nervous.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. So, you head through the entry building. You pay, well, I guess first of all is the matter of Moose, you will have to pay to take off. Do you have money on you?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much is it?
It's going to be 1,000 bits.
Okay. I'll hand that over. I have no problems with that.
Much. And as you head up to check out your ship, essentially, a figure shockingly similar to Cosima is sitting there in Coruscant Corporation uniform, looks up as Moose approaches and says, "Cosima? Hey, Cosima!
Get out of the way."
Amazing.
I haven't seen you in forever. Where have you been?
I tried calling you, and you said
it just keep ignoring it.
I thought we had a lovely evening together.
Yeah. You said, yeah, let me know.
This is a very similar feline figure to Cosima. the 4 ears, more brown than black fur, and definitely a little bit shorter. Cosima, this is your second cousin Packer.
Oh my god.
Never mind.
Packer
Oh,
Row.
damn.
Different vibe. Off.
Are you approaching? I assume you were not necessarily going up to the counter to pay.
I wasn't.
Okay,
no.
yeah. Packer definitely noticed you from afar. It's almost like a movie theater ticketing setup with like the glass, and you just kind of push the money on the counter and try not to make eye contact. But this person is far too friendly for the job and is kind of shouting out to you. It's also on a microphone, so it's louder, and the whole hall can practically hear
Then
it.
I go over there very quickly. Like I rolled my eyes a little bit, but then as soon as they're like shouting, I go over. I so very quickly. Is there a side door?
I mean, there is a security door back
kidding.
behind
I'm
the
not gonna-
booth stations.
Okay, no, I get very close. I even like push Moose out of the way a little bit, and I say, Packer, you need to just.
I haven't seen you in forever since the post New Year's holiday.
Is the mic still on?
Yes, I mean it's just always on.
Amazing.
Like at a gas station, have a
Incredible.
mic that doesn't really work, so you
Yes.
can hear them louder but not better.
It's like
Yes.
here. It's like the
Yeah,
Taco
exactly.
Bell drive-thru.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Packer, it's fine to see you.
Oh, that was the one where I
At
ate all the
some
Norgy fish and threw up. Oh man. You haven't been to any of the family meetings, have you? What have you been
No.
doing?
I've been busy making.
Heard you found like
friends.
hidden treasure or something.
That's ridiculous.
These are your friends? My goodness. Wow.
Friends, by the way, was said with such sarcasm and like kind of like oozing with a
Dripping.
little bit of venom in it, of
Yeah.
just like.
These are my friends.
Packer, I will catch up with you at a different time, but I need you to pretend for just the rest of your life that you didn't see me here today.
What? Why?
I'll tell you when we catch up.
Oh, okay. Is it like a surprise?
Oh, it's going to be a very big surprise, absolutely.
Oh, that makes sense. I saw like one of the managers was
Great,
talking
and I'm gonna
about
just like
you.
slap like the countertop, and I'm gonna like move way out of sight.
Okay, bye, Cosima. Anyway, it'll be 1,000 bits.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's your
Hi,
1,000
puppers.
bits.
Baby. I love it.
He takes your essentially little flash drive, punches in a number and sets it in the machine and hands it back to you. Thank you very much, Mr. Bones.
Thank you, Packer.
Your ship is docked in A23.
Heard.
Bye.
Bye.
Next in line, please.
We're gonna go to
Outstanding.
A23.
You can't see it on my lifeless dolly face, but Zekrom is like, Christmas is coming early. That was amazing.
It was amazing. It was awesome.
Hey, wait a minute. Mr. Bones?
Yeah. Yes.
I have a message that was left for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure.
He hands you through the thing. It's like a just like pencil long digital thing. You push a button on the side and it pops out a little hologram of a message. It was for a Moose Bones, but I'm guessing that's you because it has the same docking number.
Yeah. That is me. Go for it.
Here.
Oh,
Slides
thank
it out to you.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna walk. I think ahead of, or no, I'm gonna say, hey, just a little privacy would be nice. We're going to A23. I'm just gonna hang back and watch this if that's.
Seema's heading that direction because Dib wants to be as far away from this this situation as possible.
Great.
Yeah,
She's gone.
Crash is
Perfect.
keeping a low profile, like hanging out in the corner until we hear what docking station we're at anyway.
That's what
Scoping out.
Moose just said.
Yeah.
What the docking
Yep.
station was, which is where Casima
Yeah.
is heading. Like
Cosima,
immediately.
can I have you roll a general stealth roll?
I'm gonna spend a Benny.
No,
I
you
think that's
passed.
fair.
You have a 5.
I know I did. I want to see
Okay.
if I can pass better.
Okay.
I would like
11.
to pass,
Pass
way
more,
better.
please.
Oh,
I
all
do.
right.
I want to be a lot. I want to be a lot better.
A lot
And
better
I
than a
did.
5. That's amazing.
So that's a pass with a raise. So I think
That's
you
what I was aiming for.
after the incident with Packer, you slide past a like almost like a what's the, like a souvenir booth and discreetly buy like a hat of some kind.
No, I like. Here's what I think it is.
Okay.
Kasima's wearing very, very crisp, nice clothes. It looks like a very nice, like somewhat long, black coat, and I think there's like a some sort of interface that's on the collar that they touch, and a hood extends out, and they just put that up.
Okay.
Dick.
Cool. Hey, Crash. Same thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, dip, son. What's up?
Nothing. Don't even worry about it. We'll see if anything's up.
Don't even trip. Don't even trip.
Yeah, don't. Let's,
Boy, tripping would be really funny right now.
Jeez.
Oh,
Hey, look at you.
we're chilling.
Okay. Okay. Another race. Great. You blend into
You're
the crowd.
unskilled at that. Wow.
Wow.
Wow, son.
Amazing.
Wow.
I'm good at machines. End of list.
driving.
A knife.
Maybe he's just Crash is
Good at
just
a knife,
so
that's true.
uncharismatic that no one notices him. You know?
Yeah, I think it's
so-
that
you're
he's
so
just so
unnoticed.
plain here.
yeah.
Like this is one of the few places he is just like a dude in a crowd.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Also-
like if you have like oil covered clothes, you look mechanic-y.
I look like I'm a pilot mechanic at this point.
Mhm.
Also, can I just do like a general like as we're on the way and as we get to the docking port, like I keeping an eye out for the reverse of the stealth check, essentially. To like, you know, just we recently got shot at. I would like to see if anyone is like hanging around, seems
Yeah,
to be
roll
following
notice.
us, waiting for us when we get there.
It's pretty busy. Looking around, you don't see anything unusual or out of the ordinary. There's definitely security, but with this many people, it would be hard to pick you guys out specifically, and you don't see any security forces or I mean, there's a lot of people armed with weapons moving about, but none of them seem targeted at you guys.
Yeah, those are all like normal security for this place. Like everyone seems it's
it
the
seems
usual.
chill for now.
Yeah.
Moose, you're hanging back, is that right?
Yes,
As
I
you
would like to
come-
hang back and look at this message without anyone else seeing it, just in case it's sensitive.
The message reads simply, storage block C1448. Come quick. Celeste info degrading. Signed Angel. The timestamp is about 7 o'clock, so after you left the bar, before you left Cosima's house.
Son of a bitch.